Robstar gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Welcome to the Robstar Report. As always, make sure you guys, as you're coming through, make sure you pound that like button, hit that subscribe button. I decided I was going to go live tonight because I got some different content in mind for tomorrow's live stream. So I want to go ahead and give tonight's live stream a full recap, full breakdown, all of that. By the way, y'all hit 100 likes on that live. So we got another giveaway coming up. So we got 4 giveaways. I'm going to announce the first one here soon. And maybe we might even just do all 4 at the same time. Might just do all 4. One will be like a jersey giveaway. One will be like a ticket giveaway. One will be like what else am I missing? A hat giveaway. We'll do a bunch of, maybe we might just do it all at once. Maybe. I don't know. Nah, probably spread it out. Probably what I'll probably do this week is do the hat giveaway this week. I'll do the hat giveaway. I know I owe you guys on that hat giveaway. So I'll probably do the hat giveaway this week. What's up, Hayden? What is up, Domo? What's up, Marcos? What's up, Lomax? Hit that like button. Absolutely. Shout out to you guys, man. Well, we find ourselves in a win column. What's up, Miss Douglas? Good evening. Hope all is well. I hope everyone's had a blessed Sunday. I mean, I have. What's up, Jesse? Shout out to the 2025 rookie class. Absolutely, Black Fry. Absolutely. All right, man. Let's get without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this because, man, what a comeback. I mean, we clawed our way back from a 17-0 deficit in this game. I can't believe I'm saying that because we're down 17-0. And due to the fact of our quarterback, Bryce Young, just call it what it is, put us there. All right, he put us there. He basically gave this team, or not this team, but the Miami Dolphins basically gave the Miami Dolphins 14 points, gifted them 14 points on his turnovers. Okay, we got to call it what it is. I'm going to give him some respect though, especially after. And a lot of you guys were like, it's over. A lot of you guys in the chat were like, it's over. On my live stream, y'all were like, man, this is it. I'm done. I'm tired of this shenanigans. Because it didn't take long for the shenanigans to happen in this game. Like, we know that. Like, it didn't take long for Bryce Young to pull the shenanigans. That's for sure. And so, man, I tell you what. You got to give credit where credit's due with this team, how they fought their way back from a 17-0 deficit. I mean, 20 points unanswered. 20 points unanswered. I mean, this team just proved to me today that they're not a team that's going to quit. And that doesn't quit and shouldn't quit. And even when it looks hopeless, they didn't quit. That's the biggest thing that I took away from this is just how this team showed some grit and just a comeback win, right? And I'm going to break it down first things first by quarter. I want to go by quarter. I want to go a little bit by a little play-by-play here because the first quarter was the roughest start, right, for this team. The first quarter was the roughest start for our team because the Panthers, this team, they kicked off our defense kicked things off on the field, right? And it was ugly because they moved they moved that ball down the field like they were strolling the park. Like it was like they were using their signature motion and quick hitting plays, right? To eat up that field. Big seam pass to Darren Waller, got them in that red zone. And that's where where our defense finally made some noise. Where Nick Scorton blew up a big screen. Derek Brown got a sack. Tua Tagovailoa forced Miami to settle for a field goal. On the flip side, our offense wasn't exactly lighting it up either. You got Bryce Young. Bryce Young just got greedy, man. And sometimes he does. It's just like, I feel like sometimes this kid gets greedy. And he definitely was getting greedy. He got greedy. He was trying to juke a defender, ended up losing the ball, and the turnover killed that drive. That's literally what happened. Like, the Dolphins didn't hesitate, right? So that to punish us, that grinding out of 58 yards, 14 plays. Devon Achane sneaked into the end zone, right? Putting Miami up 10-0. And by the end of that first quarter, Carolina looked like a team that might just roll over. And luckily that wasn't the case for us, because then into that second quarter, turnovers, but you had turnovers in that second quarter, and then you had a spark of life. Like, of course, Bryce Young had another oops moment early in that second quarter, had that interception. He was trying to, when you go back and watch the clip, I remember it in my head, he attempted to step up in the pocket, and instead he stepped into traffic and it airmailed a pass that promptly just ended up being intercepted by Fitzpatrick, Minka Fitzpatrick, of course. And Miami capitalized immediately. And Tua connected with Darren Waller between Tre'von Wallace, J.C. Horn to make it 17-0. I think this team was starting to really show some fight. Rico Dowdle broke off a couple significant runs to really ignite this offense, and he was obviously the MVP of the game. You had a big pass to Tetairoa McMillan that got us in the scoring range. You found Xavier Legette in the back end of the corner of the end zone. You put some points up on the board, restoring at least a shed of confidence. And I mean, shout out to Xavier Legette. I mean, can we just give him a shout out after what this guy has endured? Can we just give this guy some credit? Right? I mean, we were hard. Like, this fan base was hard on this kid. And rightfully so with the way he was playing, right? But man, he goes out there and is well covered and still scores that touchdown in that corner of the end zone. You can't make that up. You can't make this stuff up, man. You really can't. So shout out to him, man, just going out there, making a play. He had a couple big plays as well, a couple of receptions and a touchdown. So it's a good bounce back game for him coming off that hamstring injury. And of course the abysmal play, the first 3 games of the season. So for him to go out there and literally not, go out there, get a couple receptions, put up some yardage, get a touchdown, that says a lot about him. And the crazy part is, man, we didn't see, after he scored that touchdown, we didn't see the dollar bill dance, man. He was all business after that. He was all business out there. Xavier Legette was all business out there on that after that catch. He did not do the dollar bill dance. I was surprised, but that was at least a shed of confidence in that second quarter. And then our defense, which kind of looked shaky at first, it held strong briefly. Ejiro Robinson then gets a sack on Tua. You saw the Dolphins. You used that momentum. Dowdle powering another drive. Young, of course, meticulously moved downfield. You set up Ryan Fitzpatrick, Fitzgerald for that field goal. You cut that deficit down to a single score at halftime. So shout out to them. Then the third quarter was interesting because it was a game of inches. I felt like there was a lot of penalties going on, and then in field goals, because we continued chipping away in the fourth quarter, and that game was still in the third quarter. Sorry. But the game was still frustrating, stop and go. Dowdle ripping off a huge 53-yard run. And then Young was too slow to get to the next playoff. You suffer a delay of game on that. You missed Tommy Trimble on a wheel route. And so then we had to settle for a Fitzgerald field goal. Then the Dolphins go out there. They had a big completion to Jalen Waddle, wiped out by a holding call. Then our defense managed to force a punt, which shout out to them. And then neither offense could seize that moment. And the teams went back and forth, punting in a stalemate that extended well into the early fourth quarter. And then the fourth quarter. This was so huge, man, for this team, the fourth quarter. We had 2 touchdowns in that fourth quarter, by the way. And we forced Miami, as you can see, punt, touchdown. But they only scored one time in that second quarter. And they only scored one time in the second half. That's huge. That's so huge. And you're down 17-0 to come back from this. And you our persistence paid off in this game, right? We just kept pounding the rock through, and you kept letting Rico Dowdle slash that right side, because that right side kept opening up lanes for us. You move, and we just kept moving down in their territory, and our defense was a defensive holding penalty on Miami. Another big run by Dowdle got us into that inside that 10-yard line. Bryce Young scrambles to the 1. Then Dowdle punches it in a hard-earned touchdown at that. And you give us the lead, the first lead of the game. That's our first lead of the game. And then you were like, okay, so you were like, all right, 24, we're up, 2017, right? And then Miami responds. And, of course, Malik Washington's return set up great field position. Tua found Waddle for a 46-yard bomb. The game was suddenly wide open. And then you got Dowdle, who kept just bulldozing through that line, racking up 199 yards before cramps kind of started forcing him out in this game. And that's when the unexpected heroes emerged, right? Like, you had Xavier Leggett caught that corner route. That was a crucial corner route he caught. You had Jimmy Horn Jr., who did the same thing on that fourth down. And that, I mean, loved that. That was a great seeing him out there, man. He made some plays. I love the end around plays they used him on. You saw a lot of motion with him. I thought that was amazing how they used him. And they used him the way I expected them to. But it was amazing because, to me, the reason why I say I used the word amazing is because the way the offense kind of started flowing. And you had ETN powered in near the goal line. Young then found Mitchell Evans, another rookie, in the end zone to reclaim that lead. And then you got your defense held to, your special teams contained Malik Washington, nearly intercepted Tua's pass that kept pressure on Miami. Pat Jones sacks Tua on third down with barely over a minute left, and then the Dolphins punt, and they use their timeout, sealing their fate. Dowdle returned briefly to grind out just a few more yards before Young's pass sailed over Hunter Renfrow, thanks to Jack Jones' interference. That guy should have had like 4 pass interferences, and to be honest with you, but it's a game-clinching first down, man. Like I said, I mean, for the first quarter of this game, it looked like an absolute nightmare waiting to happen. We were sloppy. We were outmatched. It looked like we were on the brink of a blowout. But I gotta give credit to Dave Canales, man, and this coaching staff. They kept this team engaged. You felt like you could believe in this team. And over those final 3 quarters, this offense and defense and special teams all stepped up, I think, when it mattered most. Now, I'm not going to say that this is the start of anything turnaround or anything, but breaking it down like that, man, it's crazy the way that this game worked out, to be honest with you. And, I've been saying, and I've been pounding the table, pound the damn rock, man. Why? And that was one of the biggest things I told y'all this week. I kept telling you guys, pound the rock. Let Chuba Hubbard. And now, obviously, Chuba Hubbard out with the calf injury. Rico Dowdle step in. But they relied on the run game, like I've been saying. I've been saying, run the damn ball. Like, I got to get shirts made that, I think. And I'm just going to put all the running backs' names on the back of it. Run the damn ball. And I'm going to put all the Carolina Panthers running back names on the back of it. Travis Etienne, DJ Dallas, I'll even put Jonathan Brooks on there. But, yeah. Just quarter by quarter breakdown there. It makes it definitely does it from a different standpoint, in my opinion. I'll definitely go back and watch some film. We might do a film breakdown this week on it instead of me. I always go back and watch the film, guys. But I might have to start bringing the game film breakdowns back on the channel. This is true, Miss Douglas. They do need to figure out why they start off slow. Again, it doesn't help when your Mighty Mouse quarterback continues to turn the ball over. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I really do believe that. I really do believe that. It's continuing to happen. It's continuing to happen. What up, Antonio? Great team win. Couldn't have happened to a better team. Well done on beating the Finns. Jin will well, I can't pronounce that. Appreciate you. Earl, what's good? Rock Jones, even Nick Scott played well. Interestingly enough, he did. SC Panthers boy, what's good? Uncle Leroy, nephew Clay. Hey, bud, we got the win. Yes, we did. Appreciate you, my guy. Berto, y'all finally relied on the run game. Been pounding the table for it, Berto. Been pounding the table for the since week one. Since week one. And Bryce spots two turnovers to any other team this year, the score will be different. You ain't lying, Brad. I'm not going to go off and say again that this team's going to continue to win. I'm not. Next week we got Dallas. I'm not going to sit there and say we're going to beat Dallas. Again, until proven otherwise that this team can go and win back-to-back games, I'm still going to pick against them. Just going to be honest. Just going to be honest with you guys in the chat. This team always stresses me out, but good win. Yep. All right, let me get into my biggest takeaways. And I'm going to talk. Let's just start with Bryce Young. I want to talk about his performance today. I want to talk about, he's almost got 1,000 yards. I can't believe I'm saying this. He almost has 1,000 yards thrown, by the way. I want to talk about Bryce Young today. Statistically, 37.8 QBR percentage, 63.3 completion, 298 yards, averaging around 6.6, 2 touchdowns and an interception. The longest throw he had was 29 yards, and of course, a 90.7 rating. I'm going to say this. Bryce Young needed a strong outing in this game, ladies and gentlemen. He did. He needed a massive game, and I think, against this Miami team. And then we needed a win, right? We needed a win even more. I mean, Bryce needed a strong alley, but we needed a win more. Because we were coming into this Miami game, right? The pressure was not only on your quarterback, it was on the whole team, the coaching staff. Us fans, we are all growing impatient, and rightfully so, because this team's record was very precarious, right? And you've got this kid in Bryce Young, who is the number 1 overall pick. You draft him as that in 2023. Make no mistake, Young isn't the biggest problem I think that this team faces this season. You've got a lot of injuries. You got a lot of roster holes. You got a lot of inconsistent play across the board. That's all going to weigh the team down in some type of way. But quarterbacks get judged by a higher standard in this league. And the questions about whether our quarterback can lead this franchise are unavoidable. And the way Dave Canales has been coaching, like I said, has already faced those questions, which is brutal for a third-year quarterback still trying to find his rhythm. Despite all that, faith in Young remains. He's somehow seems to be confident here and there sometimes. Sometimes he seems competitive. So it's interesting because is he going to grow as this season goes on? I think that's going to remain to be seen, right? But here's the first thing I took away, and I'm just going to tell you how it is. The start of the game is horrendous. That start of that game was horrendous, ladies and gentlemen. It was for Bryce. It was the opening drive ended with yet another fumble. That's been a recurring issue from this kid. That's quickly, again, is a huge red flag for me. Turnover-prone starts like this is what crushes a team's confidence. And again, I've got to give a shout out. I'm going to give him a shout out because, again, he had a resilient rebound. I'm going to say that. But you're staring down a mountain early on in this game. And then came the second series. You had an overthrow intended for Xavier Legette that Minka Fitzpatrick intercepted that we talked about, which leads to another Dolphins touchdown. You're suddenly down 17-0. And again, I'll be honest with you guys. Someone probably clipped it already, but I was yelling at the screen on my live play-by-play, and I said the kid's a bust. I did. Do I still think that? Till proven otherwise, he hasn't shown me anything why he's not. I'll give him his credit where his credit's due and his flowers when his flowers is needed. All right. But this is a third-year quarterback, man. This is not a rookie. These mistakes shouldn't happen this often is what I'm saying. While I get all these people are like, we see the flashes, especially with his early connections with rookie wideout Tetairoa McMillan, and they were too infrequent to matter in opening half. And it even goes back to what I was saying. Like, yes, this team has injuries. Yes, this team has, this team has injuries and all this stuff. But again, at the end of the day, the injuries and all that stuff you can only use that as an excuse for so far, right? I mean, you can only use that excuse to go so far, man. Like, I'm serious. Like, I get that this team has had injuries. I get that this team has had its fair share of holes that need to be filled and inconsistent play across the board, like I said earlier. But you have to learn to elevate not only your play, but the players around you, even through the chaos. The same way coaches do the same thing. If you're a good head coach, if you're an elite head coach in the NFL, those guys that are elite, same thing for quarterbacks, they're able to take the players out on the field. The quarterback is also able to take the talent around him on the field, no matter what injuries, no matter what chaos. They're still able to elevate the team around them and still able to win football games. We've seen it. You could sit here and tell me that the offensive line is bad, but Joe Burrow's offensive line was bad in Cincinnati, and guess what? He still went to the Super Bowl. Didn't win it, but still went. I'm not, and that's the thing. This offensive line's not that bad, even with the injuries we've had. Cade Mays has been better than Austin Corbett, especially from a snapping the ball standpoint and chemistry with Bryce Young standpoint. Robert Hunt's been out. Brady Christensen's filled in nicely. Besides that one sack that he allowed today. That was kind of on Mays and Christensen, but the offensive line has been holding their own. You got, even though Chuba Hubbard was out, you can definitely rely on Rico Dowdle after the performance he just had. You got Tetairoa McMillan. Xavier Legette's making plays. You started using Jimmy Horn Jr. in the lineup, which is great because the pre-snap motion, I think, was excellent in this game from a coaching standpoint. That we've been truly missing. And I think some of the end-around plays that we saw with Jimmy Horn Jr. and them putting him in the mix, I told you they were going to use him like Devin Tompkins, like Canales used Devin Tompkins in Tampa Bay. They're doing the same thing with Jimmy Horn Jr., and I think that that's what they're going to do going forward. You saw Mitchell Evans get involved. Trevor Etienne got involved. Everybody was eating, man. So it's not like the talent's not here. The potential of the talent on this team's not here. It's got to be used correctly. So that's why I'm saying you can't give these excuses to this kid anymore. The message is simple. You can't keep beating themselves because you can't. That's what we're doing. Bryce is doing the same thing. He keeps beating himself. So what he needs to do is he needs to eliminate these fundamental errors if this team is going to go anywhere. And until he does that, we're going to see these types of performances time and time again. Another thing is, it's like I said, that first half was an absolute roller coaster, right? Again, disaster start. Young at least showed he could rebound, right? That first half was the worst because Carolina, but at least, and I'll say this, the first quarter was the worst, but the whole first half wasn't bad, right? The start was horrendous, but again, it was a roller coaster over a first half. And you go out there and you score 10 unanswered points to cut that Miami lead down before halftime. Obviously, largely thanks to an absolute balanced attack featuring, of course, Rico Dowdle. But Young delivered some tidy throws. Most notably, I think his most tidy throw was that touchdown strike to Ejiro Evero, which proved, not proved. The word I'm looking for is provided. Provided a rare moment of calm in an otherwise chaotic first half. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Even when things are not going your way and when things are chaotic and you're still able to make a play like that, that is the stuff that says to me, okay, that's where it kind of starts drawing me back in. But again, sometimes it doesn't. Because we've seen the point where Bryce goes out there and then falls apart, right? Even after a bounce back. But again, he had at the first half, if you go look at his stats in the first half, right? 66.6%, 110 passing yards, touchdown, interception, 1 sack, 1 fumble loss. He had an 82.6 passer rating up at that point. The good thing is at least this kid didn't throw the towel. Like this time he held his composure, right? That's the biggest thing that I took away from him too, is like how he held his composure. Because normally we see Bryce Young at this point when you're down 17-0, we normally just see him absolutely collapse. Normally, that's what he does. Normally, he just ends up, it seems, giving up, or he goes to the sideline and slam his helmet like we saw last week. This time he didn't. We didn't see it that much. And it's a lot of mental game with Bryce. That's the biggest issue with him. He can't get out of his own way. He tries to do too much. He tries to play hero ball. He thinks that every throw needs to be an absolute touchdown or some type of big play every single time. It's not going to be. I think that's the biggest issue with him. I'll say this. Bryce Young and Tetairoa McMillan have a good connection, though. They do. That's probably one of the biggest silver linings from this game, right? Like, your connection with your rookie wide receiver, who's a first overall pick, who's definitely the true number one here. But he has just emerged as the only capable receiver making consistent plays. Now, again, we saw Jimmy Horn Jr. We saw, Ejiro Evero step up today. We saw Mitch, obviously Mitchell Evans, right? So whenever we needed a big moment, though, in this game, Bryce Young was looking over at Tetairoa McMillan's way every single time. Even on the off-target throws, didn't matter much. Like McMillan's hands and athleticism salvaged them. The connection is quickly becoming I'm going to say it. I think the connection is quickly becoming one of the league's most reliable quarterback wide receiver pairings, just because based off a connection. He is that guy's his safety net. He's sorely needed for sure. And against Miami, Young targeted McMillan 8 times. 8. And it resulted in 6 catches for 73 yards. So If Carolina hadn't landed McMillan, I think we would be having a different story right now. Would be even more stressful. And at this pace, McMillan is firmly one of the offensive rookie conversations. I don't know. After what I saw from Emeka Ibuka today, it's going to be tough to compete with that kid. But Tetairoa McMillan is definitely making his name for himself in that mix for the offensive rookie of the year, in my opinion. But Young's that's his trusted guy, man. And I think that connection's only going to grow at this point. I will give Bryce some credit here too. There's some more credit I'm going to give him in this game than I'm normally am. But Young hasn't always been great under pressure. And this game, I think we saw some glimpses of improvement besides that fumble. But there were some glimpses of improvement in pocket awareness. He is still learning. You can tell. He is still learning. He's increasingly able to read defenses pre-snap. Most time can identify rush lanes and move things and move when things do collapse. Right? The opening drive, fumble aside, Young made some smart decisions under duress, either getting the ball out on time or stepping away safely. These are the small victories in the grand scheme of all of this, right? Because this is a quarterback we all know is still developing confidence, still developing poise, and that matters a lot. Much of this was based off of the run game and the defense, especially because Dowdle's dominance on the ground was unbelievable today. But Young's ability to just navigate pressure is a building block for long-term growth. Again, we've got so much football left. So we're only 5 games in the season. We've got 13 games more to go. I need to see Bryce continue to grow from this. I'm not saying that this kid's it, guys. So let's just get that clear here. Let me just make that clear here. I'm not saying that this guy is the guy. Again, I don't believe he's still the guy. I am going to give the kid flowers when it's needed. Okay. That's just who I am as a content creator. But despite everything, Bryce Young in this game, despite what everybody else thinks, and this is just me thinking, and I'm not a Bryce Young believer. What I do want to say is this. He came through when it counted. Bryce Young did. Despite the shaky moments early on, the kid did deliver when the Panthers needed him most. In that fourth quarter, Dowdle sidelined by the cramps, right? Young made that clutch throw on critical downs that strike to Jimmy Horn Jr. on fourth down, kept a drive alive, while he had another one to Xavier Legette in a tight coverage, brought us back to have a chance to punch it in with Mitchell Evans on a play action near the goal line. Like, Young didn't need to dominate every play. He just needs to be competent, ladies and gentlemen. He just needs to be a high-level game manager in high-leverage situations. And he delivered. That's what matters most for a team trying to climb out of a hole. We're walking away from this game 2-3, which is a far cry from being 1-4. So with confidence that Young can be counted on in the clutch, even if the road to consistency is still a work in progress, that's for damn sure. So I'm going to say this. Bryce Young wasn't flawless. He made some costly mistakes early. He struggled to maintain rhythm. He still has a lot to prove. He also showed in this game, though, resilience. He showed poise under pressure. He has a buddying connection with Tetairoa McMillan, which could define our offensive year based off of that, to be honest with you. We still have problems, though, and there's plenty of them. Young has his problems as a player, and he's one of our problems, but it's him as an individual that's a problem. He's got to work out some things to give us better chances. But him being resilient in this game was the biggest takeaway I got. because he gave us a chance to win against a team that these guys just don't give up. These guys just don't give up, man. I don't know why they just want to spam your chat. But again, we have plenty of problems. Young gave them a chance to win against a team that shouldn't have win against a team they shouldn't have lost to. Like, for now, that's enough. I mean, the real test comes next week when you go to Dallas or when Dallas comes to town. I mean, Young will need to build on this performance, not just survive it. Again, you got their Clemson fans, Clay, probably so. But yeah, I'm just telling you, I'm giving him his flowers. I'm not saying that he's going to turn it around. He's the franchise guy. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just giving him his flowers and of him showing resilience today and showing poise under pressure. And that was my biggest takeaway from it. That was my biggest takeaway. So, appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Again, we always try to hit 100 likes over here on the Robstar Report. That is the live goal every single time we're live, is try to get 100 likes. Right now, we've got over 41 people watching on YouTube, and we've got 27 on X. If you could drop a follow over there on X, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you could come on over to the YouTube channel and like and subscribe, that would be the best way you could show your support to me and my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. All right. Let's talk about Rico Dowdle, man. This is my next biggest takeaway was Rico Dowdle today, man. My goodness, this guy. 9 yards averaging a carry, 206 yards, 23 pass attempts, 1 rushing touchdown. He also had, I think, let's go back. He had like 30 yards receiving, 28 yards receiving. So in totality, overall, he had over 234 yards on the day. 234 yards on the day. When we lean on the run game, look what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Good things happen, like I've been pounding the table for. Look what happens when we lean on the run game, and I've been pounding the table for this team to do that. A physical presence kept that Miami defense off balance all game long. And when we needed someone to step up more than ever, when Chuba Hubbard was out with that injury, Rico Dowdle did more than just delivering it, man. I mean, this performance was not just about yardage. It was about how he just controlled this game. He set the tempo. He created the balance. He created, like, he was Luke Skywalker. He's the guy that ended up bringing balance to the Force today. I don't know if that's a good analogy. Did Luke bring balance to the Force, or was it Anakin? I can't remember. I know Anakin was supposed to bring balance to the Force, but he didn't. But then his son came. I don't know. If anybody's a Star Wars fan, was that a good analogy or not? Because I said, Rico Dowdle was Luke Skywalker today. He was the one who brought balance to the Force. But if it wasn't a good one, oh well. You get what I'm getting at, though. He was the reason why we brought balance to it. We saw balance in this offense, but and that's why we kept Miami's defense off balance. But again, it wasn't about the yardage. It was about just how he controlled the game. Like, he just set the tempo the whole time. He created balance for this offense, even in the fact of Chuba Hubbard's, obviously out of the game, right? But he created the space that was needed to make plays. We're talking about a guy who's 27 years old, a guy out of Gaffney, South Carolina. He can proven that he can handle a lead role when called upon. And I'm pretty sure he had some words to say about Dallas letting him go. But, again, his 206 rushing yards are now the fourth highest single game total in Panthers history. The biggest takeaway was this, though, was just how Dowdle show he is a legitimate threat on the ground, and in which he can be relied on, which could be a season-saving development for a young offense like this, right? So I got to give Rico Dowdle credit where credit's due. Are we home against the Cowboys? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We are home against the Cowboys. All right, my next biggest takeaways. I got to give the rookie class, man. I got to give the whole rookie class. I got to give the whole rookie class some love, right? The Panthers, our young talent sold the show, particularly on the decisive drive later in that fourth quarter, right? You're down 24-20. We needed a huge play. They got it, right? Jimmy Horn Jr. made his NFL debut right out there on the field. Caught a 17-yard on 4th and 5 pass, kept the drive alive in that game, right? He also, look, man, they used him 2 receptions, 21 yards. Then you used him on some run plays, 2 rushes for 10 yards, had 31 yards total. So I love what I saw for Jimmy Horn, man. Like they used him the way I thought they were going to, right? They had some end around plays for him, had a couple of trick plays there. Still we're getting him the ball in the passing game, right? So just love the fact that we were able to see this kid get out on the field, really perform, show what he could bring to the table, and they did that today. I think there's more to come with him, though, in this offense. Even that when Jalen Coker comes back, this rotation is going to be interesting with him if they start continuing to using him when you got Jalen Coker back, when you get and you have Xavier Leggett back now, and then with the rotation between him and probably Hunter Renfrow is going to be pretty interesting. So we'll see what happens going forward. We'll probably discuss that tomorrow night. I'm going to talk about what this team needs to do going forward. We're going to go back. I'm going to go back on that. I'm going to harp on that train tomorrow night on this show. We're going to be talking about the momentum, how important it is to continue this. But Trevor Etienne, man, had four rushing attempts, 22 rushing yards, averaging 5.5 yards a carry. You're talking about a guy who followed with a 12-yard run, pushed the Panthers closer to that end zone. And then you've got Mitchell Evans, man. Where is he at? There he is, down there. Mitchell Evans had this guy stepped up when needed for averaging, only had 1 catch for 4 yards, but it was the one that counted the most, and it was a touchdown. So, and then meanwhile, you got Tetairoa McMillan, who did his thing today as well. 6 catches, 73 receptions, right? Or 73 receiving yards, sorry. Led this team in that. Let's talk about the pass rushers, man, and some other few guys on this defense. Nick Scorton, Princely Mamiellan applied a lot of pressure today in the second half for sure. Nick Scorton should have had a sack. He missed that sack, but should have had it. He had 4 total tackles, 1 solo, 1 tackle for a loss. He was getting after it. As for Princely, he had 1 tackle, so he was getting his work in. But again, the rookie class overall, man, like these young players aren't just filling the roster spots. We saw them step up today in clutch moments and proving they can carry a game when needed. And that's the huge thing. Let's talk about Xavier Legette, though. I want to go back to him real quick. What a major confidence booster I think it was in this game for him, and not only maybe for you guys. I thought it was a huge confidence booster for this game. I really did. In this game, I really thought it was a major confidence booster for him, because he needed this. You're coming off a hamstring injury, number one, which is that has limited him just 8 yards for 4 catches over the previous 2 games. Right. And for a first round pick, you need a major spark. And you got that when he caught that 7-yard touchdown pass for his first touchdown of the season, helped cut that Dolphins lead from 17-7, we'll cut it down 17-7 in the second quarter. So that connection could serve as a confidence builder for sure, especially with a shaky Dallas Cowboys secondary coming in week 6. We'll see. But Legette is healthy, and it looks like he was all business today. And his end zone connection with Bryce Young could be a pivotal, maybe to something we see in some progress going forward. We shall see, but we shall see. But again, it was a huge confidence booster for him coming after the absolute dismal performance the first 2 weeks of the season. I'm going to give somebody else credit where credit is due. I'm going to give where credit is due. If anybody can see this, I'm going to zoom in real quick, even closer. Look at those rushing yards. Ejiro Evero's defense made some key plays today. I'll be honest with you. This defense hasn't been perfect this season, but today they came through when it mattered most. Like, despite allowing some chunk plays, that unit sacked Tua Tagovailoa 3 times. Derek Brown had one, A'Shawn Robinson had one, and Patrick Jones had another. You limited Miami's rushing attack to just 19 yards. We're talking about a team that historically was so bad last year, allowing an average of 179.6 yards per game in rushing. Then in week 1, we allowed over 200 yards rushing. And you limit this Miami rushing attack to 19 yards. You got to give credit to Christian Roseboom and safety Tre'von Moray. They led the tackling effort in this. They were showing all kinds of discipline, physicality that needed to help this defense keep this Dolphins team in check. That defensive line and secondary force critical punts. You give Carolina's offense multiple opportunities to mount that comeback. This defense isn't perfect yet, but it is trending in the right direction, especially when you have a bigger test coming up in the Cowboys next week. I'm going to talk about that secondary real quick. Well, the secondary is good. The only thing I do have to say about the secondary is that, can we please stop with the whole, can Ejiro Evero stop sending JC Horn around and just keep him on Jalen Waddle the whole game? Keep him on the best receiver the whole game, please. Oh, it absolutely has been, T. Thompson. The defense has been better. Absolutely has been. It absolutely has been, man. So, get them likes up. Well, there's some ladies in here, Mike. There's some ladies in here now. You gotta say it's ladies and gents, man. Ladies and gents, not boys, not just boys. But yeah, I mean, overall, man, those were my biggest takeaways. I mean, looking ahead, I'll say this. With a comeback like this, you're sitting at 2-3. This carries a lot of momentum when you're going into week 6, when you're going to go against the Dallas Cowboys. This team has showed a lot of toughness today. The young talent made plays. The run game is capable of carrying this offense. Bryce Young, despite a rough start, I'm going to say it, the kid still demonstrated poise under pressure. And again, it wasn't perfect. It's not perfect. It has never been perfect. We are far away from perfect. There's still a lot of mistakes. There's still a lot of turnovers. There's still a lot of growing pains for this team. But Sunday proved one thing to me about this team. They're not going to quit. They're not ready to quit. And in their mix of this whole resilience, youth, and opportunistic play can keep, maybe if they can continue that, they can be competitive in 2025. They can be competitive in 2025. But this is how, again, you have to keep the momentum. And again, you have to be consistent. I need to see this team win back-to-back games before I can sit here and say that I'm comfortable thinking that I'm not even comfortable thinking that this team can win week in and week out. We've got 2 wins, but see, you lost week 1, you lose week 2, you blow out in week 3, you get blown out week 4, and then you go back home and you get another win. And a comeback fashion. I need to see, the one thing I do need to see is, can this team get some road wins? Can Bryce Young win road games? Because he is 1-15 on the road, ladies and gentlemen. So that's going to be the biggest test, because right now you got Dallas next week. And then are we home against the Jets? Oh, he absolutely did, Commander 336. He absolutely did. Are we at the Jets or are we at home? I think we're at the Jets, right? Yeah, we're at the Jets. Let's see if they can get their first road win against the Jets. What would be huge, man, is if this team can beat Dallas and then go against the Jets and get a win there, you're set up for success for the season. And you're 1 win away from what you won last year. If we beat the Cowboys and the Jets, you can turn this season around. But you're going to have to win. You're going to have to beat the Cowboys and the Jets. Because after that, you're home against the Bills. You're at Green Bay. Then you're home against the Saints. Then you're at Atlanta. And then you're at the 49ers. And then you're at LA. You're at LA, the Rams. That is a tough stretch, ladies and gentlemen. That is a tough stretch. But 2-3 looks good right now. I can't believe we're 2-3. That's the most shocking thing right now. After what we saw the first 2 weeks, and then that blowout loss to the Patriots the week before, man, it's shocking. It is. And then just the way this team came back and won this game is the biggest thing of all. It's the biggest thing of all. So, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. Right there. Make sure you pound that like button. Hit that subscribe button, man. It's free. The like button's free. That's all I ask. Other than that, guys, I will see you live tomorrow night. We're gonna talk about some more stuff. We're gonna talk more about some more stuff. Maybe we'll do some field breakdown. We'll see. I'm gonna bring some more content to you. Obviously, gonna bring some more weekly content to you guys. But again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Okay, guys? That's all I ask right there, though. Other than that, guys, y'all know what to do. It wasn't perfect, but a win is a win, ladies and gentlemen. And y'all know what to do. Keep pounding. I'm out. Peace.